your ruler.
Sold.
Your lands, your possessions, your very lives will gladly be given in tribute to me.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to talk about GME some more. That's all I could ever think about is GME. One track mind, one track brain. GME. Anyone that knows me from anywhere, like on chat rooms, Twitch, forums, they know that all I can ever do is talk about is GME. But there was a couple more things since yesterday that I kind of wanted to talk about. Took some notes this time so that way I wasn't so scatterbrained and rambling. But yeah, so let's jump into it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is how it's really interesting that the price got knocked down today. We were so close to the critical margin zone yesterday and most of today. Well, part of today. We were at 148. We were at 148. We were right on the brink of the critical margin zone where it was getting dicey for the short hedge funds and market makers. And yeah, so it was like, then all of a sudden just got knocked down like really fast. It was within like 10 minutes, 7% down, and then we spent the whole rest of the day teetering in the high 130s, and then we ended up closing the day hold on, let's go to this. So we were around here most of the day, and we even went to 150. We were right in the critical margin zone. We were at 152, right? And then they're like, oh fuck, and then they knocked the price down, and then it stayed here the rest of the day. It stayed around 139 the rest of the day, and ended up closing the day at 136, right? But here's what's funny. This is all planned, because yesterday, isn't it weird that the price closed at 136 when it was up here for most of the last 2 days? And yesterday, I think it was last night, they came out with this article. This article came out yesterday, right? GameStop is a recommended sell at 136 as inflation soars. The exact closing price of the following day, right? So they were playing psychological games to try and get people to sell. And this same title isn't just on this article. This same title was posted as an article piece on a whole bunch of websites. The same exact title, right? GameStop is a recommended sell at 136. The very next day it closes at that price. And this came out July 13th. Today is July 14th, right? So that's super sus, considering we were so teetering on the critical margin zone at 150. The other thing I want to talk about that they just started doing is yesterday they approved single stock ETFs. So now we're going to have ETFs made up entirely of a single stock. That way they can get around the troublesome reported short interest. So now the reported short interest will be like whatever it is on the stock itself, but then you can get around that by, instead of shorting the stock itself, you just short the ETF that's made up entirely of one stock. So they're coming out with the first one that is going to be is a Tesla stock, a Tesla ETF. So the ETF is made up entirely of Tesla, one stock, and the ticker is going to be TSLQ. And so instead, they're just going to naked short the ETF instead of the stock directly itself. It's so messed up, dude. They're creating all these new tools and derivatives to commit fraud and fuckery. They just keep on keeping on. It's ridiculous. Hopefully this all ends soon. Next week is really next week and the months to follow are really exciting, that's for sure. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, I'm trying to keep this video shorter because yesterday's video was like 15 minutes of rambling. So the last thing I want to talk about is last night at midnight, or at almost midnight, Ryan Cohen tweeted, "I love Coke." Right? Now most people assumed he was talking about cocaine, like Jim Cramer. Like Jim Cramer supposedly likes cocaine, or like how we had drone footage of Citadel employees doing cocaine on a desk in the Citadel Tower in Chicago. But what I think what he was talking about is Quincy, Florida. In Quincy, Florida, so basically after the split, the price is going to be around $40 per share, right? And in the Great Depression in Quincy, Florida, the town convinced a whole bunch of its residents to buy as much Coca-Cola stock as they could at $40 each, right? And eventually that stock split and made as many as 67 accounted for investors in Quincy, Gadsden County, multi-millionaires. A single $40 Coca-Cola share bought in 1990 would be worth $6.4 million today if all dividends had been reinvested. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna end it there.